So hello everyone, I'm here with my review to episode 73, episode 44 together. And what an episode. I kinda named it kinda cheesy, boring name, like both action and drama, but that's what I felt like. The last 10 minutes were amazing. That drama was so intense, I loved all of it. Historia there with her father, right? Like, you have to do it, honey. That's when I be with your sister, would that be good for the family? Eren crying up there. Candy jumping into the mix and he's doing exactly what I want him to do. He's like, damn man, grow up, yeah, so on. Oh, that was great. And before that, the action was just stellar, right? The action was amazing, one of the best action we had in this anime so far. And I mean, obviously, one of the best action we've ever had in anime, right? I mean, the Titan obviously has very high budget, so they have that in their advantage though. But yeah, the first 10 minutes were just amazing action, then there was amazing drama, right? Or amazing storytelling and so on. So I feel like, even though it feels like a cheesy name, I guess, I feel it's a perfect name. Yet again, in my opinion, yet again, another 10 out of 10 episode. Right? I'm really happy and satisfied for Attack on Titan. I think last week also was 10 out of 10. This week 10 out of 10, right? I think they are really, really good episodes. Yeah, and so let's go down on it then. But I really feel like it's two different episodes. Right? In one episode, yeah, there's a lot of content here. But it's like, the first 10 minutes again, let's talk about that. That's action, right? That is drama. So let's go with chronology. Let's talk about that if we go to the really good stuff. So, action, I think it starts out really well, right? With the whole barrel rolling in and the explosion. I love every Sasha scene. No, I'm a Sasha fanboy and I really like her voice actor, Yo Kobayashi, right? Yeah. So, kiss me, kiss him, and so on, right? Yeah. So, that was all great. It's also like Hange in whatever. Yeah, sorry. My mind bogs right, but yeah. Just all of that, love her scenes. I loved the Yin scene. Because obviously Yin is the best character. How I keep saying that? Yin is the best character until I get that now on the internet. But yeah, like Yin, his whole... I like that he was killing that guy, right? Because, previously he couldn't kill that lady, right? And Armin had to shoot her, and, Armin is puking. Oh, that was very good, right? That was very, very good in the previous episode. And here we see Yin, he's kind of like, I have to kill him now. I have to be determined, I have to save Eren, I have to save Historia. And he goes in there, and I really liked how the scene was like in slow motion. He's like, yeah, I can't do it first. He's kind of like, it's slowly, and you can feel his emotion there. He's like, no, kill that human, yeah. So I think that was really good. And added on also, not just good on the characterization and drama, not drama, but like character development, I guess. But also as an action, it was good, right? Because it starts with like, bam, 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 explosion, barrel, Sasha killing, snipe people and so on. And then the next, the barrels, snipe people. And then the next scene, suddenly it is this Yin, like slow-mo scene, right? That was a great way also to make the action be even more impactful. Because it jumped from this like very, very rapid air battle into this like super slow-mo killing. Then into the next snap again, right? So I think that was great too. And I mixed back and forth. Same thing with Hange, right, which is getting injured there, which was a very, painful scene there. And then also, when that doesn't happen, it also jumped from like, really fast into like this slow, like she's just like going on the wall and kind of slowly getting that blood streak on that pillar, I guess, more than a wall, but yeah, or the structure or whatever it's called. So all that was really awesome. Also, generally, it's like a really cool aesthetic design, right? The whole cave thing really fits well for a battle. So they are in that, I guess, Titan created cave, right? They were supposed to be the blue thing. I guess it's like the armor Titan, and it's like this weird monochromic blue, right? And it's perfect for the air battle because you can fly around on those pillars and so on. And they have like, so it's like a really fitting place to fight on too. So that definitely helps. And of course, maybe didn't mention that yet. It's a good episode. Then of course you have Candy and Levi. Round 2. Levi trying to get some damage on him, some blood splouting there. All he was also right there flying around, shooting at his shoulder. It's kind of like gung fu battle, right? Kind of cutting and shooting, and it's hard to explain, hard to describe, right? It's just very, very badass. All that was great. So that's the first 10 minutes, right? Super intense action. And also Mikasha's killing some people. So Mikasha's always just killing people as flies on the side. Right? She's easily slaughtering a few people, whatever. It's easy for her as always. And but it's pretty, it means badass. And after that, we get to the drama, right? So that's what I mean again, right? The episode that and it's good too, because it doesn't feel like discoherent. Like some animes or whatever TV shows makes you feel discoherent. It's kind of like, oh, this first 10 minutes or something, then this 10 minutes or something else. But here, this actually is like the foreshadow, like getting into the deep stuff, right? Getting into that. Okay, here's the backstory. Here's what you have to become the queen Historia. Here's the grandfather, like that stuff, right? So it's like, kind of like it doesn't feel at all like it's two different anime. I don't want to say. Okay, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Whatever, like some other shows, right? They do this weird stuff and it feels like, this could have been two different episodes. But it actually feels very, very like, okay, we have a massive action and next door, this is happening. And instead of having, like physical cutting people, it's like emotionally cutting you instead. Yeah, so it actually feels very, very related in that sense too, because it's like a very high-paced, character development, Eren especially that, but that his story as well. So it definitely is like a kind of, punching you with the speed of the drama as well. So it's a very, very good episode. I think it's I don't know if it's the best episode ever Attack on Titan, but it's definitely probably the best this season. Yeah, I'm deep thinking here. It's probably the best season. It's a very, very good episode. Very, very good episode. But yeah, anyway, so let's talk about drama. I was thinking, yeah, it's probably the best episode. So first thing I want to say this one thing. Some people might be angry here. I mentioned in my reaction as well, in my end of my reaction. But I don't think, obviously I think her father is wrong. And he's cray-cray like, and he's really wuss and so on. But I also feel that he is, like, how would I say it? I feel he's also like, he's not entirely wrong, I feel. He's a horrible person, but I do get his point. So I want to say that first, because I think that's important too. I want a good writing here, because I feel like he's not entirely wrong. Like, he's obviously the bad person here, but he's not 100% wrong. I do feel that he has some bearing to what he's saying. And he's like, well, when he explains to her, like, the white thing, right? If one of our family, the royal blood family, we get the power of the whatever Titans or memory power and all that, we turn into this kind of like weird pacifist, no good guy. This kind of sits there and do nothing. I saw it with my father, me and your uncle. We tried always to talk to our dads and your grandfather to like stop the walls, defeat the Titans, free the people. And he was like, meh, world is, yeah, he used to do it. And he was like, I hated the father. He refused to do it. And then me and brother fought, and the brother actually wanted, his brother kind of forced him to, make him, So anyway, his talk with the brother, he kind of took the place, right? He kind of forced her into being it. And as soon as he turned into a Titan, he also got the white eyes, right? And then her father was like, whoa, see, if you get the power, you turn into like our father was. So he was useless. So I don't think he's right, of course not. But I think that's important here, and that makes his character that's why his character works better, I feel, right? Because his character isn't just like this douchebag, wuss guy. That is a lot of it. He's very afraid, he's very selfish. But I also feel he at least has some right in his mind there, because it's kind of like, well, someone has to be the king, the actual ruler, because if you turn into the white eye guy, you sit there and do nothing. Yeah, you kind of have to do that, right? So I feel that on that sense, I think that's important to kind of get his character right, and also in the end, we kind of have to lick the serum so I can fight, right? So I have to make it right. Someone has to turn in the power back to the family, get the memory thing, wipe people's memory, reset everything, back to the beautiful walls. Yeah, someone has to do that, right? So I think that's again, I think it's important for his character. He's kind of like, well, I saw how he grew up with his father. His father was a horrible, I don't say his father was a horrible person, but his father was obviously kind of useless, right? And as soon as his brother also got power, he also turned useless. So it's kind of like, I can't get the power, because then I can't rule anymore, because the power doesn't actually rule. You have to have someone being the king behind the person, where it doesn't work, right? That being said, that obviously means it's a horrible father, because he's kind of like, well, daughter, why don't you become my puppet? Yeah, so obviously he's a horrible person. I'm not saying that he's doing the right thing, I'm just saying that I do get where he's coming from, right? I think that's important here. And obviously, I think that also is a big reason why Historia later. So I think it's a very big reason here. It's not only that he is, afraid and so on. Actually, he wants to have his puppet, so he can control right, with Historia then is willing to be it because she wants to have a family. She has the memory of her father and mother and so on, right, and a little bit of her sister. And obviously, it's also, he kind of plays it like he killed Frida. Remember that? He killed your sister. Yeah, you're on his son. He does that with her a bit, right? But mainly, she kind of wants to be, useful, and she kind of wants, like, well, actually, that's my family does. We eat each other. We kind of do the thing there, as shown in the ending too, right? They kind of eating the corpse there. That's how a circle of the whole royal family and the Walk and so on. That's what they do. She's kind of like, yeah, I want to do it, but then. It's the Ymir team, right? The Ymir Influence triggers her because Ymir is like, you're also a good girl, you're always trying to be doing that, like, you always do what people tell you to do. So that triggers her, right? Because not only that, like if her father was working more on the angle of, no, he killed your sister, your mother, yada yada, your other siblings, right? You barely met them, but he killed all the siblings too. He killed all of them. He's horrible. Here, my phone is calling. You turn that off. Sorry for that. Yeah, no editing. I'm tired. Whatever it is. But yeah, so he did all that, right? But I think that's very important again. That's also very good written, in my opinion, because he has to be like, well, this is important for you, but also the puppet king thing, right? And he explains to her the white eye and so on. And in my opinion, that's what really triggers her in the end, right? Because she's like, wait a minute, you want me? You don't care about the family at all. You don't care about the killed Frida. Obviously, it's a lie for him before that. You actually want me to be the king thing, so you can be the king again. You just control it, and she kind of gets it. Right? Like, yeah, it actually makes sense. But I don't want to be someone's slave. Yeah, and that's like going back to this. I think that's very important, and that also because Ymir is a rebel, right? Ymir is refusing of the state, going against the government. So Ymir's personality influence on her, like calling her the good girl, always do what's best for everyone else, so on, right? And that triggers her to be like, no way, I won't do it anymore. Yeah, so I think that's very important here. That his agenda is more than he's like, doesn't actually hate her or love her, but him is like, I need to have someone else being the king or like the power king, so I can be the really leader king, because I see my father, I can't be the person, right? Yeah, we have to have the person instead. Obviously, he's horrible. He could, he could eat it instead, and she could be the leader. So obviously, he's a horrible person. Also, it doesn't make sense in like age-wise, because he's old and so on, right? Yeah, so it's really bad. It's really bad, but I think that's very important. I think that's why it works so well there, because I think this is mainly rebelling against his authoritarian government style, right, so to speak, more than just like Eren is right. You killed our friends, something like that. Yeah, so and it's very important. And Allah, of course, Kenny also points it out, like, you're a wuss, you can't lead yourself and so on, because it's kind of like it's interesting though. Obviously didn't happen, but it would be interesting if he was like, wait a minute, let me eat Eren and I will let you be the queen behind my powers. That would be interesting. Obviously his selfishness, his very selfish behavior kind of stops that. But if he was a true leader, he would eat the power. He would explain to her that if I kill Eren and he deserves to die because of killing his and so on, kind of, which I don't know what he look. And it's like, you did that stuff, and when I turn, you have to be the queen leading me for our people. If he did that thing, I think that would be very interesting. Yeah, so then she might agree, right? But then she would be the puppet. He would be the puppet for her. He's have to kill Eren though. So then it would be more on the emotional. Should I kill Eren or not because he's my friend and so on, right? But he sort of died. That would be more on that aspect, because now that aspect of him actually wanted to rule. Because if he's in the rule and so on, it's more important, right? And that's what Ymir thing is very important. So that's an interesting thing. Yeah, would he change that? Leave a comment below. Do you think she would agree if she could be the queen, he would be the puppet? That's very interesting. It comes to me right now. I'm very fluid. I keep thinking about new stuff when I do review. I do these. I think about stuff before I do review. I rewatch the episode if I can. It's not out if I can't. But I think about it so on. But sometimes it's like, man, that would be a good thing. Yeah, sometimes I get my ideas when I do it. And actually, it's a very, in my opinion, it's a very interesting take on it, right? If he actually had that plan, or after Kenny talked to him, after Kenny did that, if he changed his opinion, it's like, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let me eat it, and you control it. So you're young, you could have children, and you can get the whole thing going, right? The family again, and I can be resetting the powers. Would she agree then? Probably not, because Eren was doing the whole, you know, talking jutsu. We're friends, remember everyone that died? So probably not. But I feel that also we have an interesting take if he tried that more, like more specifically. He kind of, he did a little bit, but if he really tried that, and he was like, let me do it instead, like that would be interesting as well, right? No, he kind of did it anyway in the end there when he exploded, but that's not really, you know, the plan. He just kind of felt to do something, right? So last thing I will say, because I mentioned not reaction, I really loved that Eren was trying to speak, and she's like, shut up, grow up, Eren! That was great! Stop whining, Eren! Just do it! That was awesome, right? When she like, unties Eren, and Kenny's laughing at her. He's like, oh, you go, girl! This is laughing at her. He's like, yes, awesome! And she goes up there, she's like, punch Eren, like, Eren, stop complaining! We're escaping, we're fighting this shit! And he's like, oh, she just died! Everything is bad, it's all my fault, me and my father. It's like, no way, Eren, we're getting out of here. That was great. That was the best, yes. Flipping over her father, and then running up and like punching Eren, like, stop crying, Eren! Stop being a whiner! I love his story, that was the best part there. It's like, god damn it, Eren, I should be the main character. I'm taking over, yeah. That was awesome. Anyway, hope you liked this review. I found it a really good episode. Possibly the best episode of Attack on Titan this season, probably. And subscribe, press the like button, right? Young Discord, talk about anime, manga there. Follow me on Twitter, right? So on. Have a great day, guys, and see you next week with more Attack on Titan reviews.